Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore teman Pusba. Sore hari ini di 9 Desember 2024 kita bertemu kembali di acara Bincang-Bincang yang pada kesempatan kali ini kami mengundang seorang pelajar dari program Yes Abroad Incorporate with Bina Antar Budaya. Sore hari ini pelajar tersebut yang bernama Iris akan ditemani oleh seorang pelatih bahasa yang bernama Miss Nina. Ya, kesempatan pada sore ini kita ingin berbincang-bincang menanyakan kepada Iris pengalaman dia selama berada di Indonesia, di Medan khususnya, dan bagaimana kegiatan dia bersekolah selama mengikuti program tersebut. Ya. Selamat sore Iris.
Selamat sore.
Okay. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
So like she said, nama saya Iris, tapi di Indonesia nama saya Riris. Saya akan tinggal di sini untuk 1 tahun.
Okay.
Sudah lama. 4 bulan.
4 bulan, ya. So how do you find Medan so far? Is it you are from what part of America you're from?
I'm from Chicago.
Okay, yeah. Chicago. How do you see Medan so far, Iris?
So far, Medan has been so great. The people are so kind and welcoming and friendly, despite me being like a foreigner, of course. And I've just had such a great time here. The food is delicious. And yeah, I've learned so much and just had so much fun experiencing the culture and meeting new people.
You mentioned about culture. How do you cope with the culture of Medan? Do you face any culture shock or regarding your language or regarding the behavior of people in Medan? Do you by the way belajar bahasa Indonesia kan?
Yeah.
Dengan Miss
Nina.
Miss Nina.
So for the culture, like of course the language at first, like especially my first 2 months were very difficult language-wise, because I think Medan specifically, I think less people know English, which of course, so I was trying to learn Indonesian as fast as possible. And then besides language, I think one of the biggest culture shocks is actually like the motorcycles.
The transportation.
Okay. So like then that also goes with like traffic. And
how about the students in your high school? Are they very welcoming you, or how do you find them so far?
Yeah, so the students at my school, actually, this was almost a culture shock because in America, students are often not very like friendly and a little bit closed off.
I see.
But here, everyone was so welcoming and so friendly. And I never had an issue with like people at all. Like, I just felt like they wanted to like help me be immersed into the culture even more, and everyone has been so helpful, like especially the students at my high school. SMA 11.
SMA 11. Yeah, that's great. Miss Nina, bagaimana pengalaman Miss Nina sebagai pendamping ataupun sebagai pengajar bahasa Indonesia kepada Iris atau Riris? Sudah berapa lama sudah ya, Miss?
Ini untuk yang level kedua, kita baru 4 pertemuan ya. Sebelumnya Riris sudah belajar itu 1 level untuk dasar. Dan karena Riris cukup aktif, nah jadi Riris tuh sangat mudah mempelajari bahasa Indonesia.
Oke.
Aktif dan rajin.
Aktif dan rajin.
Iya.
Bagaimana can you show us about your bahasa, Riris? Boleh you give example how do you speak bahasa?
Yeah.
For example.
I can introduce myself.
Yeah.
So, like I said, nama saya Riris. Saya tinggal di sini untuk 1 tahun. Saya mau belajar bahasa Indonesia lagi. Tapi untuk program saya ada 5 orang di kota berbeda dari program sama. Mereka tinggal di Bogor, Bandung, Yogyakarta, dan semua di sini untuk waktu sama.
Waktu yang sama.
Dan ada 6 bulan lagi.
Oh iya ya, almost finish ya. 6 bulan lagi.
Like 3,5, like halfway through.
Halfway through. Jadi kalau berbicara tentang bahasa, how do you find bahasa Indonesia? Is it because it is a little bit different with English, isn't it? The structure. How do you cope with that?
Well, today actually me and Miss Nina were just talking about this. I think that the hardest part is the prefixes and affixes. So like
yang paling susah.
Okay.
Tapi saya tahu di bahasa Inggris it's very hard with the tenses.
Yes.
Like we'd been joking that di bahasa Indonesia hanya ada pergi, tidak like besok pergi, like kemudian pergi. Di bahasa Inggris pergo, perga, pergi,
berubah-ubah ya.
Berubah. So many tenses,
so many tenses.
We have to memorize all of them.
It's not easy.
Sudah, tapi Iris sering ke bermain-main atau singgah di pusat bahasa, isn't it?
Saya sudah belajar di sini. She said I had already done 1 class. So previously, before I'd been Miss Nina had been teaching me. Kak Nadia, another really great teacher in Medan, had been teaching me. So, and now I'm studying with Miss Nina, and it's been such a great experience. I think the teachers here are so qualified and do such a good job. So,
Thank you very much for your appreciation. Jadi pusat bahasa ini kan perlu saya sampaikan kepada Iris, kami memberi layanan terjemahan, ada juga kursus, dan ada satu lagi itu uji kompetensi for TOEFL ITP boleh Iris memberikan sedikit pesan kepada pendengar, how do you what is your tricks in learning language? I mean, people say that Indonesian people say that English is very hard, many tenses, many regulation for plural and singular form. What is your suggestion?
Tips.
Tips bagi orang Indonesia dalam mempelajari bahasa Inggris begitu.
So actually, saya juga bicara bahasa Spanyol dan sedikit bahasa Arab, tapi hanya dialect, Moroccan dialect. So my tips for learning languages, and of course this really shows here, is surrounding yourself as much as possible with the language. So one way that I do this is, well, of course I live here, so the immersion is a lot easier. But I also recommend watching English television, maybe watching YouTube in English, or listening to American music. Doing stuff like that where you're just listening a lot can really make a big difference. I actually have a friend at school And she told me that like one of the best ways that she has like learned English, and she's pretty much fluent, she's really good at English, was just by watching YouTube. So like the little things can make such a big difference.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Jadi kalau dengan Miss Nina sendiri, pengalamannya tentang Miss Nina latar belakang bahasa Inggris, isn't it?
Sastra.
Ya, sastra Inggris.
Iya.
Jadi setelah mengajarkan bahasa Inggris, kemudian mengajarkan bahasa Indonesia, apa pesan terhadap teman Pusba ini tentang mempelajari dan bahasa, terutama bahasa?
Intinya kalau kita belajar bahasa itu harus tetap vocabulary ya, nomor satu harus kita kuasai, paling tidak untuk yang umumnya. Nah kalau untuk itu tergantung kita itu targetnya apa. Kalau untuk berkomunikasi, nah maka kita tidak terlalu fokus ke grammarnya gitu.
I see.
Nah, yang penting kita di situ kita tahu vocabnya, kelancaran kita, ya kan. Nah, yang penting praktis lah sebanyak mungkin. Yep.
Dan seperti yang dibilang Iris, sering-sering mendengar musik atau lirik dalam bahasa Inggris, menonton film bahasa Inggris gitu. Walaupun mula-mulanya melihat subtitlenya dulu ya Miss, tapi kemudian nanti bisa berlatih. Oke. Ya tak terasa waktu kita sudah semakin berlalu ya. Bincang-bincang kita ini sangat kita memberi manfaat ya. Terima kasih kepada Iris, Riris atas sharing pengalamannya, kemudian tips dan trik dalam belajar bahasa, dan Miss Nina juga terima kasih atas waktu luangnya telah memberikan sedikit gambaran bagaimana mempelajari bahasa Indonesia atau mempelajari bahasa Inggris dan mengajarkan bahasa Indonesia kepada penutur asing ya. Ya teman Pusba, demikianlah bincang-bincang kita sore ini. Nanti kita akan nantikan lagi sesi-sesi berikutnya yang akan disiarkan di podcast kami, Pusba Bersuara. Kami akhiri, wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam dari Pusat Bahasa USU.